walk us through the numbers of what you can do versus what some of our our younger
and then,
audiences are doing.
So we'll have some fun with it. So let's say Mike and I are the same age and we're friends.
Right.
And we both have the same situation, new in our jobs, working our tails off to get ahead, a lack of stability, right? So there's a little bit of risk and gamble that goes in what we're both going to decide to do. We're going to go to less concerts and we're going to say $15,000, right? Ready? Do that? High five?
I'm in.
Okay. So Michael says 15,000, I say 15,000. So I take my 15 grand and I use that to cover the down payment and the closing costs on a $300,000 home. You take your 15 grand and you put it in the bank, right?
Okay.
And I'm definitely doing a little bit more of a risky move because I'm saying I'm going to make this my home, and if my job changes or I have to commute, I will be making a drive, and you won't, right? You'll walk out. Fast forward 5 years though, and in 5 years' time, I don't know what your 15 grand turns into. I'm just thinking.
Well, I'm going to put most of it because I need to keep it liquid in a you know, hopefully if I can get lucky, put it in a high yield money market at 2%. If I'm lucky.
So maybe you can edit the math on it, but does your 15 grand turn into 17 grand?
If I'm lucky.
5 years?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's say 17.
So here's what happens to me, because I'm gonna take the advice of real estate professionals that I've talked to, and I'm gonna put my $15,000 as a down payment on a $300,000 house. That's gonna make my rent the same as your $1,700 that you're paying for your apartment. But in the 5 years that I own the home, I'm going to benefit from what's called amortization. So every mortgage payment that I make, a little bit is being taken off of the principal balance, or
So you're growing equity.
being put into my pocket. After 5 years, it's $23,000.
Okay.
Right. So now you have 16,000.
17.
I got 38 grand. Now, there's another thing called leverage depreciation, which a lot of people forget about. So I'm not going to predict which direction the market is going to go as far as housing goes.
Take a conservative estimate.
Housing prices go up and they go down over a 30, 40, 50 year period. The average is 2%.
Okay.
But the 2% gain is on my $300,000 house.
Right, not on my 15,000.
Not on the $15,000 you have in the bank. So if I take that over a 5 year period, I actually wind up with $31,000 that I gain in leverage depreciation. Right? So now I've got 31, I've got 38 from amortization. And then we think about, I'm young, maybe I don't have kids yet, I watch HGTV, you know, this is one of the reasons why I like your guys' show. And I'm willing, it's not so much to do the work, I'm willing to be inconvenienced. And I can, because I'm maybe newly married, my children aren't running the house, I don't have kids yet, and I can allow for a contractor to come in and make a mess and make noise. So what happens if I find a house that is undervalued by, I don't know, you guys do this.
25 grand?
25 grand.
Okay.
Right. So if it's $25,000, which is really an inconvenience because I've got to have somebody come in, remove the carpets, sand some stuff down, maybe put in a new kitchen, but nothing crazy. If I had that 25 grand to the leverage depreciation and the amortization, I'm almost at 100 grand. And where are you again?
I'm still about 17,000.
So 5 years from now, you're going to call me or Facebook me or Instagram and be like, where'd you get 100 grand for the down payment on that big house, dude? Would your parents help you out? And I'm going to be like, no, Mike, I just kind of bought a place 5 years ago, put a little elbow grease into it, kind of bought a little smarter, and what'd you do with your 15 grand?
I bought a bad stock. I bought a penny stock.
Yeah, I mean, you lived above a Starbucks. In the
But I did
rental,
get a lot of coffee.
And I'm not, no offense to the builders. If I were a builder, you got to do the same thing, right? You got to follow the trends for your product. So they're doing what they should be doing. But I don't think that generation has looked at those three components very well.
Yeah,
it's just alarming to me that in a short period of time, $100,000 of wealth can be created with you and I making the same payment, both having 15 grand.
No, these are parallel routes.
Right.
But one's going a lot faster than the other.
Right.
In terms of getting ahead and creating wealth.
Right.
Well, I'll tell you what, Scott, thank you. And leave it to you to really put it in a really fun way, you know, for us to dig in, you know, on what it means. I mean, to me, that spelled it out. If I just heard what he just said, I'd be rethinking my rental strategy, right?